that right? Did I do that math right? 16? 73 plus 16.
17.
Well, how old are you guys?
I was born in 87.
Hey, 87.
That's not right.
87
Wait,
club.
That's a
73
year after
plus
my
17
third child.
would be would be what? Oh, that would be. I'm thinking of never mind. I wasn't born in 2000. I was born in 1990.
So Domingo told me he wants to not die. Oh, we're already talking. Oh, no, I don't want this to be in the podcast.
Well, hey, everybody.
So you were born in when? 80?
1990.
90?
February of 90. Yeah.
Oh, you weren't even 8. I grew up in the 80s.
I wasn't in the
87. I was.
You grew up in the 80s.
I grew up in the
Wow.
80s.
Most of your memories from the 80s.
Oh yeah.
So many.
My oldest child was born in 81. My youngest child was born in 97.
Yeah.
So a good spread there.
I mean,
Well-
for real.
Well, hey everybody, welcome to the Next Day podcast.
The next day on your discipleship journey.
I'm Chad.
I'm Christy.
and we're joined by,
Yes, Lee.
and for the first time,
What?
the one,
What?
the only, legendary, most senior staff member, well, other than Raina, I guess, but like one of our
Second,
longest term
yeah.
staff members here at the church.
The
What's your name?
David Galasso, drum roll, please.
Hey.
David Galasso, or G, as the students
Yeah.
call him.
G, Papa G.
Yeah,
Papa
and
G.
so, David, first time on here, right?
Yeah, I'm just beyond thrilled. It's
I'm-
really
We are. There's
tremendous honor.
No way you could be more thrilled than
We
us,
really
though.
never wanted him on, but he heard us talking about it in the hallway. He says, well, guys, I've always been curious to try a podcast. And we're just like, okay, David.
dropping all kind of hints.
No, I just saw him talking, and I was just like, oh, David, come here. Come join us.
He got snatched for the podcast.
I know.
Today.
No, you've made a slight appearance one time because somehow
that's
we were
right.
you popped in at one point, but we were just like, oh, we got to have you on because I don't know if we'll have time today, but like all your stories, you have probably like David is like, imagine Forrest Gump and how he just kind of was everywhere and knows everybody. David has that
That's
kind
a
of
perfect
life.
comparison, truly.
And the best one I could think of is David knows the founder of Raising Cane's.
Oh, that's very true.
Yeah, he knows that. He taught him how to cook the chicken,
He's a former student of mine. A great guy.
which is our sponsor for the day, Raising Cane's. When you want chicken strips, come to Raising Cane's. No, well, we're glad you're here, David, and we're glad you're here, Yesley and Christy.
Privilege.
Hi.
Hi.
And so this is our podcast where we're meeting the next day, and this is typically where we would talk about the sermons from Sunday, but we didn't really have much of a sermon because yesterday.
Preston would disagree with that.
Well, I
And
wasn't.
Carl would disagree with
I
that.
guess so. I guess so. But we're not going to talk about that because the main part of yesterday was the serving. Because
Right.
there's Church Without Walls. You have heard us talking about it the weeks leading up to it, and so that's what this one's going to be talking about. But first, we got to do our icebreaker question, and so.
It was, what year were you born?
Yeah,
Just
what
kidding.
year? Who was president when you were born?
I don't even know the answer to that.
I'm not going to go there.
You're not gonna- Taft? Was it Taft?
Oh my God.
George Washington. What do you mean?
I thought like the longest time the president was George H.W. Bush, and it blew my mind when I was like, wait a minute, Reagan was president when I was born. I was like, oh no, that makes me way
you were
older.
born in 87?
Yeah, in the spring of '87.
So was Reagan president when I was born too?
No.
No,
Bush.
H.W. would have been president for you.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Things I don't know.
I know.
Okay, so what's our icebreaker?
All right, icebreakers. Since we have David here.
Oh boy.
Oh no, I'm trying to think of a good one here.
Favorite hymn?
Ooh, I was trying to think
We've
of
done
something
that
music.
before.
We did a Christmas.
We
or
did
whatever.
Christmas.
Yeah, favorite
Carol.
hymn.
Favorite
What
hymn.
is your favorite hymn? Now, David's probably gonna have to really narrow this down.
Look at this look on. He's
I-
very,
He's
a very
really-
concerned look on his face.
That's hard. Come thou fount of every blessing is
Come thou fount now every
Lord's
bless. I love that
very
one.
I forgot when we talk about songs, and it's like, what's your favorite song? Chad sings every single one.
I do.
A little clip.
and be thou my visions up there too.
Be now my vision. Let's see if I can do this.
Oh my.
Maybe I need to throw a curve.
I can't do it.
Wow, we
I
should have
used to know
rehearsed
it. I used to
this.
know.
Great try. Oh, there we go. There's a few extra notes in there,
Okay, I'll stop.
but woo! That was
Nice
great.
job. Good
Anyway.
job, Chad.
He just whipped that out. Things we didn't know about Chad, he always has
All right.
a harmonica on him.
Exactly. So come thou fount and then be thou my vision.
It was just a couple. There's just too many.
That is a good one. All right. What about you, Yesley? Favorite hymn?
I do love All Is Well.
I don't know
Oh.
this one.
Wait.
That's a
Wait,
Christmas.
what is the title? Like
All is well. Oh,
with
Oh,
my
it is
with
well.
my
Oh, it
soul.
is well.
It is
It is
well.
Yes, it is well.
That's a very good
With
one.
my
Yes.
soul. Yeah.
That song I feel like always makes me want to cry.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
good.
it's a good one.
We
All right.
sang that yesterday, actually.
Really?
Oh.
It
Nice.
was very emotional.
All right. What about you, Christy?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to like.
You're the one who
I know. I
you're
don't want
the
to
one who threw
repeat
it out
anyone's
there.
answers. I love How Great Thou Art.
Oh.
I mean, that's a classic.
How's it go? How's it start?
Oh,
Oh
Lord,
God, my God, when,
Wait, dang it.
then sings my soul.
It starts lower. There you go.
Okay, I'll stop.
Woo!
Anyways,
Yeah, I love How Great Thou Art.
that is a good one.
I also have a fondness for Old Rugged Cross.
On a hill.
I just love it. It sounds so
away.
like good old country.
Yeah. Good
It's very
Good.
appropriate for Lent.
Oh,
Yes.
and I also love. Oh my gosh, we sang it like a million times. It was when Preston got here. I can't think of the name. All of it starts with a B.
Oh, yeah. What
Because
was that?
he lives.
Because he lives. Thank you.
Because he lives.
I do
Okay,
also really
very nice. I know for me, let's see. Let me just drop in Lord of the Dance. That's a good one.
Oh, we have
Dance
definitely
then wherever you may be.
we've definitely done this
I am the
icebreaker
Lord of
because
the
you
dance.
said that last time.
Maybe.
And then we like went off singing that. Because it was like we talked about like it slowed down and then it gets fast.
Yeah, I know. I also love. Let's see if I can.
I'll fly away.
Oh yeah. Yay!
No, yeah. I'll fly away. But my all-time favorite is definitely I Surrender All. That is.
These are such
Really?
good
Yeah.
ones.
I surrender all. That's a good
We
one.
can
It,
have
it gets
it.
stuck in my head like all the time.
David, we
and-
need a hymn night where we just call out a hymn and we just sing our favorites.
Yeah. I've been at churches before that do that, and they used to yell out "Lord of the Dance" every time.
That would be fun.
So-
I think
I
Chad wants
enjoy
to
that.
join the choir.
Ooh,
With
come
this-
down, come down. I
He
should.
came
Or
down.
with the harmonica, I've thought about doing the bluegrass at some point, but I'm just not. I know on here y'all think I'm an expert, but I'm really not that good. I'm really not that good.
Yes, expert was the word I was going to use.
All right. Well, now you got to know our hymns and we got all these songs stuck in your heads. But now let's move forward to talking about yesterday, CWOW Sunday. Each one of us did different projects. We have 4
Yes.
projects represented here. Now this is like 4 of, what would y'all guess? Like how many projects do we
I
have?
don't
20?
know.
I think 20 or so or more. Like there was just all sorts of projects scattered all around town, all around the campus. This is something we've done every year since, when did we kind of bring it back? It was like in 22, 23 or something. And so we've been doing it kind of annually. And this is where instead of a typical worship service where you just come in and, you know, sing hymns and do all this, like instead we do a send-off, but then the rest of the Sunday morning is all about serving the community. Some of the projects were on campus, you know, even though it's Church Without Walls, we were serving people outside the walls by being on campus. That's like bagging rice and beans. I know Clothed by Faith had their project here, and there's several other things that I think even they would talk about. And then there are other projects where we go outside. We either met at the places, we all met at the church and drove off. And so, so it's always a really fun Sunday where we're just kind of scatter. Did you count how many projects?
I
thought that's what you were doing.
I was picking up my phone to
she
do
picked
that.
up her phone and looked like she was doing something.
And then I had a text message and I got distracted.
Oh,
okay, hold on. I can do this.
So it was really good. And so, David, how many CWOWs have you been a part of?
Were you here when the first
Yes.
happened?
Mm-hmm.
Who was it that started it?
Don Smith.
Don Smith, yeah. And so, because they used to do it like quarterly, didn't they? Didn't it used to be like a quarterly thing?
No.
No? It was always just once a year? Or maybe once a
As I
semester?
recall, yeah.
Okay. But it was always it's always really good opportunity, and everyone just kind of gets to do, and families get involved with it as well. So children, students, adults, everyone just kind of participates in it, and so all really great stuff. So Chrissy's still counting over there.
Well, there's something wrong with this spreadsheet.
Well,
It's repeating.
Let's just say 20 then, and so
I do think it's around 20.
Yeah. All right, so what projects were y'all a part of? David, do you want to go first? What was your project that you did?
Well, we went out into the community to sing for various rehab centers, nursing homes, and that sort of thing.
Yeah. So let me get this. Y'all all started. So how many people as choir? How many different music groups do y'all have?
We had 2 music groups that were busy on Sunday.
And so y'all are all together for some of them?
We sang, the first one we did was with Chancel and Youth Choir combined, and then we split up. The Chancel Choir went to another place, the Youth Choir went to another place, and then we came back together again, Chancel Choir and Youth Choir, to do a fourth.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like you got, how many? There's like 50 people in the chancel choir.
Yeah, well,
minimum?
not everyone is able to participate because
Right.
we're mobilizing so much.
Sure.
Some people were out of town, but we had, I'd probably say 45 to 50 people involved.
Ooh,
For the chancel choir or with the youth choir?
Combined.
That's a good amount of people.
Yeah,
it's like
we
herding cats.
Well, and like the age range too. This is what I find so beautiful. One of the things that's so beautiful about CWOW is like you have people from different generations, different backgrounds, different walks of life, and they're coming together and you're serving together, and that's particularly meaningful and like particularly visible with a choir, because you're singing with one voice and like. Getting to go out into the community in that unified kind of way is really representative of who we're called to be as the church, and I love that. I think that's beautiful.
Well, it was really exciting because some of the venues we sang in had really beautiful acoustic locations, and the choirs sounded wonderful.
And the people you were singing to, like, would they chime in? Would they sing the songs?
Yes,
Yeah.
actually, one of our choir members' mother was in one of those locations,
wow.
and she just, when you watch her, she's just singing with such energy and excitement and just the Holy Spirit.
So she's the the epitome of singing with a joyful heart.
Amen.
Yeah, nice.
So you sang hymns, right? Like familiar.
Oh no, we
kind
do
of
anthems
hymns.
and
You do
hymns.
anthems. Okay.
We tried to do a mixture. We opened up with Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee.
Joyful, joyful.
Okay, and then we did
We
Amazing
adore thee.
Grace, and then we went into a couple anthems, and then back to hymns, and we ended, well, most everyone we ended with a couple patriotic tunes, And then we decided to do the St. Peter song, which the choir really enjoyed, particularly the youth. And we thought it was so appropriate, going out to serve.
Going out
this
to
really
serve.
fits.
Well, we thought the same thing on, when we were talking about the worship service with our commissioning service.
Oh, God.
You know.
Do you want to tell the story?
The story?
Didn't you remember how
a story?
Yeah. No, we were talking about a meeting of it, and then
yes.
and then Christy said it.
Yes.
And then nobody heard her. And then I said, "What if we did the St. Peter?" And they're like, "Oh, that could be a good idea." And I was got all the credit.
Yeah, Chad got all the credit. They're like, "Great idea, Chad," and he was like, "Thank you."
Thank you.
No, he did end up. We've been laughing about that, but
Yeah.
no, it was very manly of you to take a woman's idea and call it your own.
It's a man's world. But David, going back to your thing, like you said that there was a song that you got tearful with.
Mm-hmm.
Which one was
Well,
that?
there were several. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah.
But there were several occasions that we sang, and watching the kids and the adults singing together and seeing the people's reaction. I mean, I got very emotional.
It's what a choir director lives for, you know.
I guess, and it was beautiful, and it was just special. This is one of the more special ones I've ever been
Really
part
nice.
of.
That's awesome.
Did you have people join you who weren't part of the choir? They just want to come and sing? Or is it mainly just the choir?
It was all choir. That
Okay.
was
Because otherwise, they
mobilized.
know if they just come to help, you're going to get them signed up in choir.
That
Yeah.
would be the intent.
I know.
I mean, that's cool because it's one thing that I've always heard about, especially like memory care kind of places, like even as your mind goes, your memories are going.
yeah.
Music stays
That's
with
right.
you.
There's people in music therapy.
Yeah.
And they could probably explain why that is.
I mean,
Like,
it honestly, I was talking with Celeste about this last week, that just the way that, let me get really nerdy here. But so have you heard of the vagus nerve? Your vagus nerve. So it's the main nerve in your nervous system that like reacts to like your body's in danger. It just like, kind of it communicates with your brain and puts your body into like stress mode if it's like, or survival mode if it detects that you're in danger, right? And so if you go through like trauma or like a chronic stress, then your vagus nerve is sort of dysregulated. And so to regulate it again, one of the things that they'll tell you to do, and even if you're like in a time of stress or panic or you're having a panic attack, anxiety, whatever, one of the best things that you can do is sing or hum, because the vagus nerve runs through your larynx and pharynx area of your body, and so it like is this elongated like vibrations that sort of just like soothe the vagus nerve and just reminds you like you're okay. And there's something about singing or humming that's just like so comforting to the body, to the brain. That's just like you wouldn't be singing or humming if you were in danger, right? Like it's a calming kind of thing. And so it like there's actual like, physiological reason for that. And so when we were talking about this, like just that is so, it communicates to your brain that like all is well, everything's going to be okay. And then, if you think about the way that music and singing and all of that, knowing these hymns or songs that you've sung for many years, that for somebody who has lost most of their memories but can remember those songs, like it just proves like there is something about music that is just transcendent, and it's heavenly. I mean, it truly like connects us to this like divine presence, and it's almost unexplainable. But I love the scientific parts of that where it's like,
why do you think I'm singing this whole time?
I know.
I'm trying to calm myself down. I'm a nervous wreck over here.
There's a neurological
that's where
foundation to all that. But
Dave-
Yeah.
if I may refute,
Chad's a case study for this.
when we were flying to Jamaica one
Oh,
time,
I was gonna bring
a mission trip, and we were going through a really turbulent time on the plane, and Emily was freaking out.
Yeah.
And I started singing jokingly, "When we all get to heaven."
Heaven.
She's like, anyhow, she reminds me of that all the time. But That's to, we were in danger, at least.
Uh-huh.
And David kept saying, like, he would tell the whole plane, come on, everybody, when we all
Well,
get
that's like the Moravians, right? Like, as like John Wesley is on the boat. I can never remember if it's like to America or from America,
It's
but that
to
was
America.
to America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was something that moved John Wesley so much, was the way the Moravians were Moravian.
I always say Moravians.
Whatever. Some sort of vowel sound in the middle. That they were singing their, crazy like storm on the water, like thinking, oh my gosh, we're going to perish here. And they were singing songs of calm and peace and joy and, to God. Like, they were worshiping in this turbulent time. And that was so moving to John Wesley. That was part of the, like, I don't know that I have the assurance that they have, that was like a moment for him. Right. But again, yeah, like just in those moments of deep stress and anxiety, the way that music transcends, it's beautiful. I love it.
All right. Yesley, what about your project? You were here on campus, is that correct?
Yes.
Right.
And I don't know if I want to go now after David and before Christy, but it was still a lot of fun. It was nice because it was on campus, so people were able to come to the worship service, the commissioning service, and then participate. And it was a great project for families, all ages, and that was the same thing that I enjoyed because one of my sons was with me. And he was able to interact with other people at the table that were older. And I think it was a great experience mutually for everyone at the table. But we, back in December, the church did Angel Tree, which turns out we learned, we sponsored children and for Fort Bend foster care system, which I think they're called Rainbow Bend or Rainbow Room. And we found out that they actually have a little bit over 500 kids. And St. Peter sponsored 100 of those children for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
And so their only fundraiser that they do is a golf tournament that will be happening in May. And what we did was we helped stuff envelopes, essentially like their media campaign for the fundraiser because they only have 2 staff members.
Oh, yeah.
And so for us being able to stuff 2,500 envelopes took us a couple of hours. It would have taken them probably 40 hours.
Yeah, that would have taken them a week.
Yeah. And so I'm grateful that we were able to help. And it was very low impact. Low impact, I guess, for the people doing the work because you got to sit down and stuff.
I don't know about that. I heard one of our students helped, and they said they got a paper cut.
I was going to say, there is a paper cut. We really did need that, what they have at the banks.
Oh, yes. The stuff.
Sticky.
Yeah,
slime.
that you put on your fingers.
Yes, we really needed that for next
Ooh.
time. But yeah, overall, it was a lot of fun.
Did y'all lick all the envelopes?
No,
Okay.
it turns out, I don't know how often you use envelopes, but now they have this little sticky strip, and you take it off, and it seals.
Oh, but that's not.
That was fun.
And you said that there's, how many people, did you say that? How many people work in the office there?
They only have 2 people.
Yeah, in the
Staff.
Yeah.
That would take so long.
Yeah. That's one of those. Yeah, that's one of those things where more hands and you're able to do more. But kind of like whenever for Treasures in the Attic that we do again in around December, our students will help get the area set up where before they just had 2 people who would do it. Our students do it in like 30 minutes, and it would take the other people hours to do it. Our students get it done really quick. So just like that, you're able to everyone working together can get all that done. So that's really cool that you're able to, you're able to help in that way.
It's one of those things that like we often don't think about mission work or like CWOW Sunday. You don't think about like stuffing envelopes with flyers for like this golf tournament, right? Like, but when you think about how these mission partners that we are in partnership with, that is like their main fundraiser. Part of like sometimes like it's boring. Like sometimes, it's like sometimes the mission work or the things that have to be done, like it's kind of like a boring task. It's like mundane tasks. But I think one thing I thought about is how CWOW fell on the first Sunday of Lent this year and how like Lent growing up, I was like, it's so boring. It's so just like sad. There's like ashes to start the season. Actually,
can't have soda.
Yeah, it's like,
you
got to give things up. Like, it was just like, it was boring. Whereas like with Advent, if you're going to compare it, it's like there's lights and there's festivity and there's all this stuff. But in
there's
Lent,
Santa.
It's just long. It's like, oh gosh, like 40 days of just like, and it feels so mundane. But when you like think about that in like terms of the tasks that we did, some of them that we did right on CWOW, I feel like it was very Lenten, like just reminding ourselves of like there is so much goodness in the mundane. Like it's ordaining the ordinary. Like we did this work, and instead of like it being all on someone who is a 2-person staff in this ministry partnership that we have in their office, and it was going to take them 40 hours of work. There was conversation. I'm sure there was laughter and joking and as this work was being done, and we were able to provide a service to somebody who we are in partnership with in ministry, and help them out so that they can focus more on like the ministry that they're doing. But the administrative task is part of it.
That's what the like monks used to do when they just did their chores, and it was like a time of prayer.
Yeah.
It was just this ordinary thing, and as they were doing something, it would be a time of prayer. And I love the mind-numbing tasks of doing stuff like that. Like I know some people like when we go to mission trips like UM Army and stuff, and everyone else does not want to be on a paint site. And I'm like, I love just like doing and stuffing envelopes, and I've been a part of it because then you just get into conversations with people while you're working. I love that. Like it's just fun to me. I know some people are like, no, I need to get out and I need to go swing a hammer. Or I need to go play in a garden or something. Isn't that what y'all did?
Yeah.
Y'all just frolicked in the garden
we
the whole
frolicked for 3 hours.
What was this? What was the name of this garden you went to?
Shambaya.
So this is Christy, the project she went to, and y'all went out. Because where is Shambaya Amani?
It's in A-Leaf.
A-Leaf area?
It's on A-Leaf ISD property that's owned by A-Leaf.
I'm sure in this garden there was at least a leaf.
There.
I'm sure.
Pause for laughter.
All right, sorry, I had to edit out all the constant laughter. It just went on for way too long. All right, we'll continue now.
Yes, there was a leaf in the garden, minimum.
So you've done this one for a couple of years now.
This was our 4th year to take a group out, which was really cool. And one thing I was reflecting on was like how we've been we've gone to Shamba like in a different season nearly every year. Or at least like a slightly different time. Last year aligned a lot more with this year because it was in March when we went. But the first year we went was in June, and like it's just gorgeous. I mean, the flowers have like all bloomed. I mean, things are being harvested. It's like it was really hot the first year we went. So I mean, I'm grateful that it was a cooler time of year. But I mean, just like, oh my gosh, just to see the garden, the farm like in full produce mode, right? This year, and like, we've seen it in different seasons, but this is the earliest in the year that we've been, and the garden looks so different.
Yeah.
It's very, the ground looks like it's been laid fallow, like it's just very turned over. Seeds have just been sown and not started to germinate yet. And there's some areas that like the crops are still, can do okay through the cold weather and everything. But it just looks so different. And I, again, like was reflecting on that, and how meaningful that was on the first Sunday of Lent, that like this was the beginning of a journey. This was the beginning of growth for us in a new season. And that was just really beautiful to have that kind of imagery. But we went out and Shamba Ya Amani means farm of peace. David, you gave me a look whenever I said this.
She always feels so smart.
You say it. Shamba.
I have to see it.
Come on, Shamba.
Shamba.
Ya Amani.
Amani.
Shamba Ya
Shamba Ya
Amani.
Amani.
I've been saying Shamba Ya Armani.
It's
like
not
an Armani suit.
Very
whatever.
different.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, it means farm of peace in Swahili. Most of the women that work on the farm are refugee women from the Congolese area, and they speak Swahili. And so the farm is named Farm of Peace for that reason. And it's just, it is truly a place of peace. But we've gone and made garden beds there. So the women that work on the farm, they work first of all, agriculture is just so deeply a part of their culture and their being, right? Like it's all they know, right? And so giving them a place to be able to still work in the land as they're in this, different, this is a new home for them, and land that isn't theirs. And it's interesting too that like Shamba is on A-Leaf ISD property. So like the FAM Houston, who's like the parent ministry, doesn't own the garden, doesn't own Shamba. It's really like borrowed land. And that feels very meaningful, for the people that work the land, that it's borrowed, but, they put their heart and soul into it.
How many acres is it?
I don't know the acreage. It's a good question.
It's not very big.
Yeah, it's not the largest.
Two?
Yeah, it was land that was not being used for anything.
Yeah.
So I used to actually, when I was a teacher across the street. And,
what is that school called?
Well, I was at Alexander Elementary, but there's another school too.
Yeah,
there's
a
one.
school
Okay,
directly across. Yeah.
I couldn't remember what the school
and
was.
it was just like land that wasn't used for anything. Like I think it was like trash essentially.
It was a wasteland.
So that is like so beautiful to like how much
Christy
land.
talked about that in one of her recent sermons too, talking about like you showed the
Yeah.
before and after pictures and
Yeah.
all that. That was really cool.
It's cool. I mean, the way that they, even on this borrowed land, like transformed it into something beautiful and useful for the community. I mean, like the way that a garden like that
has brought so many people together
Yes. Yeah.
from not just from the Congolese women, but just in general in
and
A-Leaf.
and churches too, like because St. Peter's will come out there and
Our students, we went out there for a bridge the other year, like 2 years ago,
right.
I think. And
But
so
like
we were out
St.
there
Luke's, Memorial Drive, like St. Mark's, Westbury, like so many churches will come out and have a partnership to come out and help. And really what we're doing is like we're not the farm stewards. The women that work on the farm are the farm stewards. So they get to decide what they plant, how they grow it. Like they have full control over that. But we get to build the garden beds to give them a place to do that. So we built 2 more garden beds the last time we were here. They're very big, and for 2 different families to come and plant there. And then we shored up a couple others that were built before. But it was interesting because we last year had built 8 garden beds. And interestingly enough, like the time frame that it all took was similar to build like 8 versus 2.
Yeah.
It was different materials, but anyway, it was cool to see them in use because
Yeah.
I mean, and we even got to see some of the farm stewards coming there, planting in those beds, which was really cool. Anyway, it was a lovely time, and then getting to just see like we had a bunch of kids. Like our littlest one was like under 1 year old, strapped to mama's chest, and just
okay.
like.
It's like you gave them a shovel, go.
No, but she had a shovel.
Get to work.
She was working,
mom,
and she
yeah.
knew she wasn't gonna be able to do like a ton of stuff, but it was this is what the women who work there, they do this, like
Yeah.
they'll strap their babies to them and they just go and work the garden, and it was cool. So we had a bunch of kids. They planted beans.
Nice.
So yeah, it was beautiful.
Well, now for the best project was the one I was a part of.
This is not a competition,
It was the one I was,
Chad.
because we had music, and I guess that was it. No. So most of the time I've always helped out with Clothed by Faith, but I know it was in good hands this year, and I heard that it went really well. But this year I helped out with the group that went out to Brookwood Community, which is a special needs community where people not only live, but they also use their gifts and abilities, and they make crafts. They have a whole store out there where they sell pottery, and they sell flowers, and they have a cafe, and so everyone who's they work there, and it's just a way for this people to live as a community together. So we went out there for a worship service. And so with some of our church members, and so that was really nice. We just kind of did a simple 30-minute service, kind of like Courage, where we sang to music on a screen, but they belted out the music, especially when we were singing, "This is the day." This is the day that the Lord has made. So they definitely just like really were like, yeah, they really enjoyed that. I was also happy to be able to do this because I got to do the sermon that I had worked hard on. And we didn't do that sermon because that was the time where we didn't meet because of the cold weather and all the freezing weather. So we just didn't have church that day. That's where we did our whole little panel type of thing.
What sermon was it for Courage? Where were you preaching? I don't remember.
What, for when I was going to do that one? It was going to be for Courage. But I had all these visuals all for it, and I was working. I went over it with Yesley.
Very well prepared.
And then I was like, and you're not doing it. Dang it. So when this opportunity came up, I was like, well, dang, what am I going to do a sermon on at this worship service? What if I did Elisha and the widow's oil? And then I remember Yesley was like, yes, do it. And I was like, okay.
We're all, if it's
right.
like some Sunday that like, we all of a sudden have to preach a sermon that we weren't like ready for, we all it's always going to be 2 Kings 4 because we all have it that we didn't get to preach.
And so here was the highlight of it, and I made a social media post about it, but this is really special. So we're doing the story, and so for those who aren't familiar, just quickly, the story is like there's a widow, recently widowed, she's in debt, and she's afraid she's going to lose everything, including her children. Elisha, the prophet, comes up and says, well, what do you have of value? She only has a small little jar of oil. And he says, well, go find bigger vessels. Go find bigger jars. So the kids go out, they bring back jars, and she just keeps filling them, and they keep filling up. They go get more jars and this. So what we did at this worship service was we had people acting it out. There was someone who was a widow, someone who was the prophet, and then we had children go out and had everyone in the congregation had jars. We gave some of our church members out their jars. So children would go out there, get jars, they bring it up, and we put it on a table, and then we pretty much acted out like it would filled up with a bandana. I had like a yellow bandana, and I would kind of fill up the jar, go, oh, that one's full, and here comes another one, that one's full. And as we were nearing getting close to the end where there's not going to be any more jars, one of the residents from the community ran up to the stage with his empty water bottle, laid it on the table, and just pretty much said, here. And I was like, okay. And I put a bandana in it. And so,
so cute.
Yeah. And I think everybody was like, what is going on? And then I just kind of went with it. And then that really tied in nicely into the connection of one of the things I was going to talk about was how the community was there for the family. The community gave up their jars. They gave up their vessels to this family so she could fill it up. And here's someone in this community who just came up unprompted and just did it. And so that was really cool. So a lot of our members, afterwards, after the worship service, we went to a room and we played games. We had crafts and coloring and all sorts of things. And so that was just a great time of fellowship and hanging around. So I was really happy to be able to do that project. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. So, but that's just kind of the magic of CWOW, right? Yeah. So
magical.
It is. So maybe y'all listening, maybe you participated in a project. If you weren't able to, you know what? You have all year to go and volunteer at these places. Like Shamba Yamani, I'm sure, has a system down where you can go volunteer.
Every Saturday.
You can come sing with the choir.
Yes,
and
anytime.
Clothed by Faith and food pantries around every place that we were doing. Like, I'm sure a lot of those places, I know we had students build a fence for a family. I'm sure you can't do that all the time. But yeah, so just whatever you could do to go out and serve and be a light of Christ out in the world, find a time to go do that. Do it by yourself, with family, wherever that may be. Let's get to our ministry shout-outs. And since we have David here, David, I'm going to put you on the spot because I didn't talk with you ahead of time.
Okay.
But what ministry shout-outs are just where we give out shout-outs to anything ministry-related in our church. We try to keep it as specific as we can. Sometimes we can be vague. But what in music ministry would you want to give a shout-out to and just let people know about what it is and what may be coming up?
Well, I'd have to give a shout out to all my musicians and people that volunteer to provide music for our church community. I mean, we've got just a vast and wonderful program. We have Bluegrass Group coming up this weekend, and then we've got the women's Grace Notes, we have the men's ensemble, we have the youth choir, we have the orchestra, chancel choir. So we're really, really blessed to have so many wonderful people that feel called to serve Christ through the gifts they've been given through music. And it's just a wonderful blessing.
It really is, yeah.
That.
Anytime you have the full-on choir and the orchestra, it's just like
favorite.
It's just like what is like. I feel like you have to go downtown to the theater district to see the Houston Symphony for that kind of stuff, and then here we are. We have volunteers doing a lot.
Just
that's
for
so
a regular
special.
10:30 service.
Yeah,
I know, it's amazing.
And I love so much that students will be in the orchestra.
Yeah.
And they're playing along with the other people who are like probably way more experienced, and they're able to learn from them, but they're playing along with them. And I'm sure that's a big impactful.
Yeah, that's something that was really important to me because there's so many people that won't really step up. And you have these older people that a lot of them are teachers, and they take these younger students under the wings. And
it's amazing.
And
I'm like, as the contemporary worship pastor, I'm like, I love contemporary worship, and we have an incredible band, and the music is phenomenal week in and week out, but it is such a treat to get to go to the traditional service. And when I've been able to be in there when the choir and orchestra are there together, and I'm like, this is just, it's phenomenal. It's a different flavor, but it's just, it's so beautiful, and I love it.
Well, we have one of our favorite pieces coming up here that instead of doing it on Palm Sunday this year, we're putting it on Good Friday.
Yes.
And we're doing something that's called the Requiem for the Living. And it really is one of the most glorious pieces of music we've ever presented here.
We're so excited. It'll be for Good Friday this year.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Very nice. Well, thank you, David, for joining us.
Thank you.
This won't be the last
honored
time.
and privileged to be a part of this ensemble.
We have plenty more stories we need to hear from you, so we need to do that soon. Thank you, Yesley, for joining us. Hey, Christy.
Hey.
So we no respect here. Next week we are starting our Lenten sermon series, which is called
In the Pressing.
And it's all about like Jesus being in the Garden of Gethsemane, right?
The Garden of Gethsemane, which Gethsemane means oil press. And knowing that fact and knowing what Jesus being in the Garden of Gethsemane at that time really meant, it makes, I don't know, the pastor nerd in me is like, oh my gosh, oil press, like the crushing of, truly to like make olive oil, you grind up the oil, the olives, right? And press the oil out of it. And it's this process. It's like, uncomfortable if you were an olive. So
the olives thinks it's the pits.
It's the pits. It totally is. But it's, it's this like, it's this process of like breaking things down and like just squeezing out the oil that is, in this fruit. And that's so meaningful for Jesus' time in Gethsemane, in the Garden of Gethsemane, as we're leading up to the crucifixion, as this time of intense pressing, and and to see what comes out of that. And I'm interested at what I guess what is pressed out of us as we are going through this season of Lent, and as we kind of like are, it's supposed to be a bit of an uncomfortable season, right? Like you kind of get into the nitty gritty of what it means to carry your cross and to die to yourself daily. It's it'll be good.
So be looking forward to that. And if you do at all feel like a little uncomfortable during Lent, just remember to sing and help your Vegas.
That's right.
Your Las Vegas
Full
nerve.
circle.
Or your
Vegas, not VEG.
Oh, okay.
VEG. Yeah.
Well, we'll look forward to that, and we will see everybody or hear I don't know how it works on podcasts, but we will see you all next week on the Next Day Podcast.
See you next time.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.